Welcome back to Data Cloud Now's live coverage of Snowflake Summit in Las Vegas, the world's largest data and AI conference. I'm now joined by Michael Krause, Managing Director and CTO for EYComply. Michael, such a pleasure to have you on the program.
Ryan, great to be here.
Always great to have EY back on DCN. You know, to start with, can you give the audience a quick overview of EYComply's solution and what are the core objectives you and the team are solving?
Ryan, absolutely. So EYComply, our charter is to get better finance data for finance executives. What that means is, as folks are sourcing all their information, all the things you can think of, the core ingredients, positions, transactions, what's your manifest your ledger. What firms are not doing is reusing that information. How do we get the same transactions, the same positions, the same general ledger information, and then repurpose that to do your statement of assets and liabilities, to then do your tax reporting and reg reporting. When you use the same data, you know what's common, you know what's right, you know what's consistent. So EYComply allows us to take our accounting expertise, along with our architecture, to do that for our clients as a managed service. So multi-year deals, helping clients through all those problems.
You know, I love having a baseline, but if you don't mind, I'd love to dive a little bit deeper. You know, this solution is across the asset management, banking, and insurance industries. When you take a step back, Michael, what trends are you noticing across those three disciplines?
Ryan, to be honest, it's very, very simple. Folks are looking for a trusted advisor to navigate these turbulent times with the economy, right? Folks are hungry, right? When I say folks, that's companies and clients and individuals, right? Firms want to say, how can we leverage things like the data cloud more intelligently? How do we do that in a secure fashion? And then at the individual level, it's about, hey, what's the right provider that's going to help me? Who's going to give me the best advice to seek alpha in my returns, in my retirement portfolio? What wealth manager should I be going after? So you're looking for that trust. So over the next several months and years, it's going to be whose black box do you trust? Which provider is going to give you the right expertise and the right timely support to support your objectives? It's as simple as that.
You know, I think you keyed in on something very specific, and that's trust. It's never been more important than in today's hyper-competitive landscape.
Correct.
You know, as you can see, Snowflake Summit is all around us. You know, you can quite literally see the data cloud ecosystem coming together, and the talk of Summit is Gen AI and LLMs. How will this impact your approach for the remainder of fiscal year 24, and what are you hearing from customers?
So honestly, the energy here and the buzz around generative AI is immense. You're not going to one session and not hearing about AI. If you're not, it wasn't a good session.
I had to bring it up with you, Michael.
1,000%. And for us in the managed service side, it's all about how do we drive operational efficiency. And what's been so neat about generative AI, it's accessible. Partners that I work with that are hardcore accountants that literally have a Casio calculator along with them because the abacus wouldn't fit in their bag, are coming to me with technology problems. Be like, hey, can we do this to help us with our accounting transactions? Can we do this to help generate reviews? And the answer is yes. But now we got to have the right data to trust that, to build that. So for us, in our product, it's going to be how do we create a virtual assistant for these accountants? How do we start leveraging generative AI to go from a document, like a capital call or a distribution notice, extract all that information, validate it, and then translate it to journal entries in the accounting platform. And then by the way, also how do we leverage this to then train our next generation of accountants? So this is how you post it. Here's how you treat this complex transaction, higher quality, greater efficiency. That's going to be great for our clients and our services.
I absolutely love it, and providing that missing ingredient for those individuals, to your point, that aren't necessarily in the trenches on the data side and are up until this point, you know, very much not in the know in relation to data trends. You know, now that's where Gen AI is opening up the door to a completely different element of non-technical folks.
100%, 100%.
In this world where, you know, ever-changing, faster, competitive, you know, where is your mindset down the line from now, and how is EY continuing to adapt to that ever-changing landscape?
So our thesis is really, how do we help our clients solve their most challenging problems? That's what we are as consultants, that's what we are as advisors. And from a managed services side, it's the same thing. So some of the things you'll hear about us coming soon is we're going to be doing a lot more in the private markets. So the private equity funds, the real estate funds, folks that have very complex information. What's been interesting about the private markets is since the economy is where it's at, you're seeing assets shift from the public markets, the equities and bonds, to the private equity markets, right? To real estate and purchasing those things that are not a transaction, but a deal. So what does that mean? It's not a spreadsheet, it's now documents, and how do you process that and translate that? So you can hear a lot of us about how do we disrupt that market, how do we do more in that space, intelligently leveraging tools like this, leveraging generative AI to provide more services for our clients. It's going to be a fun year ahead.
Well, Michael, it's been an absolute pleasure sitting down with you. Thank you so much for joining me on Data Cloud Now.
Thank you for having me, I appreciate it.
And for the audience watching, I'm Ryan Green with Data Cloud Now. We'll see you soon.